Howdy, Mike McCoy here. How's it going? Today I'm going to tell a little story about the time I met Robert Pressley. For you people that don't know, Robert's a retired NASCAR driver. And he's local. He was raised in this area, so that makes him kind of the hometown boy that's done good. His dad, Robert, was a local driver that drove on our local track at Amboy. Asheville had its own little racetrack back in the day, and we kept it up until probably the early 90s, and they sold it out. And it was a big disappointment to a lot of people because a lot of people in this area, racing is our sport of choice. But when I was growing up, me and my circle of friends, racing was our sport. And Amboy Racetrack in Asheville was pretty much our Wrigley Field. You know, that's where we went. And, you know, if you was going to go out on a date or something other way to impress your girlfriend, you took her racing. And that's just the way it was. And Robert's dad, Bob, he won a lot of races up there, and he was a lot of us boys' hero, I guess you'd say. You know, we really pulled for him and looked up to him and stuff. And then Robert come along, and he was a good driver, and he wound up driving for NASCAR. He drove a Skoal Bandit some, and I don't know what all he drove, but he had a pretty good career. It wasn't bad at all. Mike Fryer is one of our county commissioners, and he's a good friend of mine, and I support Mike Fryer. And Mike is a retired engine builder for race cars and stuff. He owned a shop out there, and he built engines. And I got to knowing Mike through Facebook and the paper when he was running for county commissioner. And we made contact, and a friendship developed almost instantly. And we got to be good friends. And every event that Mike has, he'll usually invite me to it. And it was at one of these fundraisers. I guess it was the first one I ever went to. I went out there, and I was out of place. And I believe Mike sensed that I was out of place, and he come over there where I was at. And he said, "Robert Pressley's right over there. I want to introduce you." And we went over there, and I knew it was Robert, but you know, I don't just walk up to somebody like that and introduce myself. That's just not the way I am. That ain't who I am. But Mike took me over there and introduced me, and my first thought was, well, it's going to go down great. Here I'm going to be this retired NASCAR driver, and it's going to be, well, look at me, I'm great, and you ain't nothing, you know. We shook hands and exchanged a couple pleasantries, you know, and started talking. Well, the next thing I know, me and him had hit it off. Robert's a good guy, and he's by no stretch of the imagination big feeling or say, "Hey, look at me, what I've done," and stuff like that. That's just not him. And we stood there for probably 30 minutes or an hour and just talked like two old friends. We talked about our kids, and very little about NASCAR, but now if I asked him a question, he'd answer it. And you know, I didn't want to come off just grilling him about NASCAR, and you know, I didn't want to do that, for I figured that might make him uncomfortable. And we really hit it off. And that year, I think he run for county commissioner. We've got here in Buncombe County, we've got 7 county commissioners. We've got 6, and then a chair, which makes them a chairman, you know. And we've got 3 Republicans and 4 Democrats. And I'm a Republican, so naturally I pull for the Republicans. And the Republicans is Mike Fryer, Robert Pressley, and Joe Belcher. And I know Mike and Robert real good, and I kind of know Joe, but I don't know him as good as I do the other 2. And me and Robert just hit it off, and he's real common like guy. It puts you in mind of Andy Taylor, just old shucks, and real easy going. But now there's one thing you don't want to never do, and that's underestimate Robert Pressley. That man's as sharp as a tack. And one of the things that really impressed me about him is he could live anywhere. Anywhere he chose to live, he could live. And this is his home in this area, and he wants to make this area better for everybody. And to me, that's impressive. He could be enjoying his life doing whatever he wanted to do, but he chose that, and that's a pretty big sacrifice once you're like a county commissioner, you're automatically hated by about a third of the population, and the other third's wanting something for nothing. So you've got about a third that really appreciate you. But he's done well, and I think he's on the right track. And he's got a hot dog restaurant out there close to his home. And that's what got me to thinking about him. We went out there today and had lunch, and he happened to be there, and him and his wife come by, and we had a real good lunch and a good conversation. And he sells the best hot dog I've ever eaten anywhere. I really enjoy his hot dog. If you're ever in the Asheville area, go to Celebrity Hot Dogs and get you a hot dog if you like hot dogs. You won't find one any better. And it's just a good little restaurant. But I really enjoyed meeting Robert and developing a friendship, and seeing somebody that, especially somebody local that has done good. He gives other people something to aspire to. And I'll guarantee you he stands when the Pledge of Allegiance is read or the national anthem's played. And we need more of him. We need more Robert Presleys and Mike Fryer. And we've got some good insurance in these mountains. And then we've got some that worth 2 cents, but usually we weed them out pretty good. Robert Pressley and his wife, Gina, and them two. They're made for one another. They really are. I believe that's as happy a two people as I've ever seen in my life. And just all the time picking at one another. You can just tell they're happy to be around one another. And she's just sweet as she can be, and she's sharp as a tack too. She's there to support Robert, and she does a good job. And I just thought I'd put that out there for every once in a while. You have to think about the people you look up to. Mike and Robert's two that I look up to. I think they're doing a good job, and neither one of them has to do what they're doing, and make this county a little better place. So that's my thoughts, and talk at you later. Bye.